Pochettino sacked as coach of Tottenham Hotspur. Surprised?
I'm surprised about the sacking. If Daniel Levy has just dragged him upstairs and said, listen, here's your books, thanks very much for your 5 years, see you later, then I'm surprised, because that's harsh for what he's done. I can't deny it looks a bit stale. And Pochettino himself, with his rhetoric, even back to the Champions League final, talking about potentially leaving. Bad start to the season, some players want to leave, didn't sign new contracts, it's not been great. That can't be denied. However, if this is just sacking him for 6 months of mediocrity, then that doesn't look good in Tottenham.
If this was down to Pochettino going out, spending money, bringing in players to freshen things up, and then these were the results that we've seen this season, then you could understand it. But the fact is, he hasn't been given any money. He hasn't been able to freshen it up. You've got 3 or 4 players who want to leave, who actually start in the 11, or should be starting in the 11. So you've got absolute mayhem at the club. And most of that, in my opinion, is down to Levy. But guess what? Levy's not going anywhere. Pochettino gets the sack.
I think that's the thing. Unless Pochettino walked out, which, you know, there are no suggestions that that's the case.
No, the statement came out and said the board came to this decision.
This makes absolutely no sense to me in any measure. When you consider what Pochettino has been able to achieve with Spurs, no spending, yet continually and consistently finished in the top 4. Okay, I know that doesn't look likely this time around. And we are talking about beating Champions League finalists. Again, after spending nothing compared to who he's up against.
They did bring Ndombele, Lo Celso in the summer. They did spend a bit of money.
They spent a bit of money, but compared to who he's up against, compared to the rest of not just England's top 4, but the rest of Europe's heavyweights, Spurs have spent absolutely nothing. And this makes no sense to me whatsoever, added to the fact that any number of their players, ordinarily starters, are going out of contract in 6 months' time or just about. I find it a toxic situation that Pochettino has had to deal with, somehow perform miracles. Yes, it's come unstuck now, but he's being asked to carry the blame for that. I don't agree with it at all.
Let's look past the Pochettino situation, because he's gone, and I actually think now he's probably better off out of it.
Well, he's £12.5 million better off.
Well, yeah, financially better off, and there'll be clubs out there that want to hire this guy, there's not a doubt. So he's probably better off out. I talked about Steele. If this was a board decision, you said it was, they better be prepared. Vertonghen wants out, Alderweireld wants out, Eriksen wants out, Rose wants out, Trippier's gone. And the big one that will crumble, I think, is Harry Kane. Why the hell would Harry Kane, and he's talked about it, why would he stay? They're clearly showing no ambition. They're never going to match other clubs in wages. They've lost a young, up-and-coming manager that took them to the Champions League final. All the senior players want to go. Do you think one of Europe's best strikers is going to sit there and say, oh, I'll just sit back and waste another 3 or 4 years in my career? Not going to happen.
Jose Mourinho is the odds-on favourite to take over. Is this the right decision?
Jose Mourinho?
Yep.
Absolutely not. I'm sorry, but I think at club level, Jose, for me, is past his best. And the big and most important reason why this wouldn't work is Jose wants money. And Levy doesn't give out money. So why would Levy ask Pochettino to take over this team?
Mourinho. He's already got rid of Pochettino.
Mourinho.
Mourinho?
No, nothing about this makes sense. Steve's right. Mourinho will ask for a lot of money to spend, always has in all his previous managerial appointments. As we saw, back end of his time at Manchester United, didn't really sing the party line in terms of his own kind of ongoing feud with Woodward. Contrast that with Pochettino and what he did and how he handled the Levy situation and the fact that he didn't have that kind of money. And then add to that, just the football that Spurs fans expect their team to play. It's, again, in total contrast to what you come to expect of Mourinho.
Give us a reason why. Get him to come up with a reason why.
He wins trophies. I'm just putting it out there. You know what I think, but I'm just telling you what.
Well, they're not in the Community Shield. So
listen, I am with you, but I can just hear the rhetoric straight away. Mourinho brings silverware. Again, I don't see it happening. Not under Levy, not just Spurs or anywhere else.
He also brings chaos.
Yep.
And they've already got chaos. So double up. Think it's going to get any better with him?
Double
I don't think
chaos.
so.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.